A good November in the books for Westminster women's basketball. The Blue Jays went 4-1 with a 2-0 record in conference play, and that brings us to December now on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Welcome to Henry P. Iba Court, the home of the Iron Curtain in Fulton, Missouri, for tonight's matchup between the Central Christian Saints of Moberly, Missouri, and the Westminster Blue Jays. James Stanley and William Nolte with you tonight. It's been a tough season for the Saints so far. They come in 1-8 and off of an 89-45 loss at Randall last week. William, as we're looking at the stats here for some of these players from Central Christian, was not a good night as they had to use 8 of their 9 players off the bench and not a lot of scoring from the bench.
That's true. They only have 8 players dressed tonight, so very little depth looking at the Saints for this game coming up tonight. If they want to get out from the gate going here tonight against the Blue Jays, I think they're going to have to start making their shots, which they've struggled with all season so far. Obviously going 1-8, one win coming against Union College 2 weeks ago. But definitely that game against Randall was a downer that lost their momentum from that one win.
It's been a tough going for head coach Caitlin Frazier, the 4th different head coach for Central Christian out of the last 4 years. It's not been an easy going for getting coaches to stay long term, and she's going to have her work cut out for tonight against the Westminster Blue Jays, who come in 5-1, 2-0 in the SLEAC. They're currently tied for first place, coming off a win on Saturday, 77-53 to start off their December, as we're about a minute away from tip-off here at historic Fulton Gym, I guess historic Westminster Gym, as they're not allowed to change the name of it. This is the home of the famous Iron Curtain speech made by Winston Churchill nearly 70 years ago, and they're not allowed to change the name of the gymnasium, so I believe it's just historic Westminster Gym. With that, we're going to take a short break here on the Blue Jays Sports Network, and when we come back, we'll have starting lineups live here from Fulton, Missouri. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to historic Westminster Gym on the campus of Westminster College in Fulton, Missouri. James Stanley alongside William Nolte. Run through the starting lineups first for the Central Christian Saints, 1-8 on the year. They have yet to play a game in NCCAA play. Ryan Stewart Flores will start at forward from Palmsdale, California, as well as Tink Harris at guard, the 5'5" freshman from Elkins, Arkansas, coming off a 16-point performance last time out. Naya Golden King at forward from Independence, Missouri, will start, as well as Skylar Beck, also from Independence, a freshman guard, 5'8", graduate from Truman High School, first year in the program, and Damia Covington from Haiti, Missouri, 5'9" freshman forward, had 10 rebounds last time out against Randall. So for Central Christian, that's Stewart Flores, Tink Harris, Golden King, Skylar Beck, and Damia Covington. Too much like LaDamian Washington, former wide receiver from the Missouri Tiger football team. Now we'll meet the starting lineup for the 5-1 Westminster Jays. They come in coached by James Arnold. He's had a couple 3 successful years as head coach of the women's basketball program. Ray Imamura will start at guard with Callie Dowler from Barnesville High School in Barnesville, Ohio. Had 24 points, going 7 for 11 from beyond the arc last time out against Blackburn on Saturday. Miracle Johnson at 4 will start as well, with Abby Reese at forward and Kendall Adams at guard. So for Westminster, that's Imamura, Dowler, Johnson, Reese, and Adams. Make sure that's Abby Reese, not to be confused with her sister Corey. As ready for tip-off from center floor, and it is won by Miracle Johnson. Here come the Blue Jays left to right. Quickly, an early three that rattles in and out and rebounded just off the right block for the Saints. And we already have a stoppage of play here fairly early because the clock is continuing to run here, William.
Yeah, not exactly sure exactly what happened there, but I think it was important for Adams to get that good start. Didn't make the shot, obviously, but very, very quick three coming in the first 5 seconds of the game, right off the tip-off.
I think the clock started a little too quickly, and now
Maybe.
they put 9 minutes and 50 seconds back on the first period, so we'll resume play. Moving right to left are the Saints in the Road Blacks. A travel called in the backcourt. We'll tag that one on Skylar Beck, the freshman guard from Independence, Missouri. She's had some playing time with Naya Golden King. Both played at Truman High School just last year. And Westminster will take back over left to right with Imamura, the point guard, bringing the ball up the floor. Pass off to the right wing. Here's a three for Dowler. Dowler connects from downtown, and quickly Westminster goes up 3-0, 9:29 to go in the first period.
Blue Jays looking to set the tempo early, as I just said, getting that 3 points early right there from Dowler.
Very important to gain momentum early against a team, especially that's struggled. You don't want to allow them to climb back into the driver's seat. Here's a bank three off the back right rim, and Skylar Beck will make that Ryan Stewart Flores, banking that one off the glass, and we're tied at 3 just 1 minute into this game.
Good answer from Stewart Flores.
Stolen away. Here come the Saints. Numbers for Tink Harris. Drive to the right side of the basket. It's no good off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Westminster. Here the Blue Jays come left to right. Here's a quick pass up the floor, but Imamura took 4 steps. One too many, and the Blue Jays turn it over on the travel.
Good steal there from the Saints on the last possession. Trying to get ahead early in this game. As I do know, they are most likely underdogs in this game, but they're almost matching the tempo that the Blue Jays are setting.
Little too tenacious for Abby Reese. She's going to pick up the first foul of the game for either side. Still tied at 3, 8:47 to go in the first period. Westminster in the home whites with sky blue trim. Sky blue shoes for the entire team, a very sharp look. Meanwhile, for the Central College Saints, the Central Christian Saints, it's all blacks with maroon numbers and maroon lettering across the top. But shot is missed from the left block, or from the left wing, and rebounded by Westminster. Here's a quick cherry pick and play. And Westminster comes away with 2 points. Miracle Johnson got the assist up floor. Kendall Adams zipped a pass up to her off the left block, and Westminster retakes the lead 5-3. Johnson at the line.
Absolutely fantastic assist from Adams, hitting Johnson down low in double coverage.
Johnson can't finish the old-fashioned three-point play. You can't always get all your free throws, but that's something that maybe you can work on in practice just a little bit more. Set-to-set coverage for the Blue Jays. Layup is missed off the left block by Ryan Stewart. Make that by Damia Covington. And the Blue Jays will try to respond. Here's a triple from the corner. Clanks off the back of the rim, and a long rebound out. Bodies flying on the floor. Who's going to come up with it? It's Kendall Adams. Adams on the floor. She's met by Covington, and a jump ball is called. So with the possession arrow sticking the way of Central Christian, they will keep the ball back, moving right to left.
Almost a good steal there from Doward, poking that ball away, not allowing the fast break for the Saints, but it did end up in a jump ball.
Left wing triple for Beck, too strong, rebounded by the Blue Jays. Here they come left to right in transition. Adams, skip pass, Imamura for 3. Oh, too strong, hits off the back of the iron, but an offensive board for Reese. Abby Reese down low, and then quickly kicks it out to Callie Dowler. Dowler to Adams for the triple. She responds, and it's a 5 6-point lead for Westminster with 7:23 to go in the first quarter.
Great ball movement all around, and a great rebound from Adams to keep the ball with the Blue Jays. And a response triple.
8-3, 7:11 to go in the first period. But the Saints are right there to respond off the right block. They get Skylar Beck involved down low, and she has her first 2 points of the night. It's 8-5 with 7 minutes to go in the first period. Got to appreciate the defense that the Saints have put up against Westminster so far. There's another steal. Covington came away with the bacon that time, and now they'll walk the ball to floor right to left.
Almost foreshadowing as you said that.
Harris, the point guard, with the bounce pass off to the left wing. That's Stuart Flores. Pardon me, that's Covington. Covington now gives it off to Stuart Flores, but she has to corral the ball behind her nearly into the backcourt. Now back to Covington. Covington takes one dribble on a step drive, but no good. Wrist by the rim. Here come the Blue Jays. Imamura walking the ball up the near side of the floor. Skip pass over the far side. Dowler, catch and shoot. Here's a three. Too short, and rebounded by the Saints. Here they come back in transition right to left.
Blue Jays looking to go fast on offense, trying to, like I said so many times in this game, set the tempo of this game.
Tink Harris feeds the pass off to her teammate in Stuart Flores off of the right wing, as Flores now drives to the right of the side of the basket, and they hand off a couple of passes. 8 seconds on the shot clock, and a drive by Tink Harris is too short off the right block. Westminster will keep the ball back up the floor. Tipped out of bounds. Imamura tried to find a special look to Abby Reese below the basket, and we will have our first substitution of the game for either side. Janae Williams checking in for Abby Reese. So Williams into the set alongside Imamura, Dowler, Johnson, and Abby Reese. Pardon me, Abby Reese out of the set alongside Adams. Speaking of a three, too short, but a good rebound by Miracle Johnson. She had 8 rebounds last time out against Blackburn. Now she catches and shoots from the left elbow and drains it. Johnson for 2, and Westminster has doubled their lead. It's 10-5.
Great ball movement and great off-the-ball movement all around for the Blue Jays. Set up so much space and spreading the Saints team out defensively.
Imamura with the good defense against her counterpart, Tink Harris. The 2-point guards were going for it, toe-to-toe. Now they're going to cherry-pick numbers for Westminster. Easy bucket for Miracle Johnson.
Another fantastic pass from Adams, finding Johnson under the bucket for a wide open 2 points.
Johnson with 5 points in the last 35 seconds. How will the Saints respond with Covington at the top of the key? Harris, a couple of passes now to the left wing. Covington with it into the paint. Feeds it off to her right. That's Golden King. Pops and stops and shoots, but the shot is too strong. Rebounded by Westminster. Janae Williams got the board, and a jump ball will get the ball back to the Blue Jays. Left to right, they will go.
Interesting jump ball call. Didn't seem like they both had their hands on the entire time. I almost thought Janae Williams had that all the way through, but
Imamura takes a seat on the bench, and Westminster goes with a new point guard this time. It's Michaela Jackson from Eureka, Missouri. Jackson, feed inside to Johnson. Johnson, the floater, it's blocked and stuffed. Golden King says not today, and the Saints retake back over right to left.
Fantastic defense from Golden King. Setting her feet and putting that hand up to block Johnson's shot inside. That can be so deadly so many times.
4 minutes and change left to go in the first quarter. Make that in the first period. Johnson gets eaten up, and Golden King comes away with lunch, 2 points. 12-7, 4:04 left to go in the first period. Adams, she'll try a three. From downtown Fulton. Timeout called on the floor. I think Westminster called this one. Usually it's the... No. Hold your horses, William. Take the triple off the board. There was a foul underneath the bucket before the shot went off, so Westminster will keep possession. Now, this is interesting.
Interesting bold call from the referee, like how she stuck with that call even though.
There's the trigger in, and Adams will try another triple. Can't answer on that one. Offensive rebound, and the Jays reset. Here's another block. This time it's Tink Harris, but again, down low, Janae Williams is able to post up and put the bucket through for a couple of points. The Blue Jays are back up on top, 17-7. Harris Drove down low, but got an elbow to the face. Think they will tag Abby Sutterfield on that foul. And so far we've seen a couple of, I want to call them frustration fouls because Westminster's up by 10, William, but looks like Westminster just being a little bit undisciplined down low with the fouls.
I agree. And even though they are up 10, they can't afford to get in foul trouble this early with 3 fouls. Excuse me, 2 fouls to their name, 3 for the Saints early in this game so far, as you said.
Jackson fires up the floor, and a pass off to her left. Kendall Miller gets on the scoring board. 20-7, 13-point differential for the Westminster Blue Jays. They are on fire from beyond the arc, and they lead it 20-7, 3:11 to go in the first period. Covington walks the ball up the floor, dribbles with the right hand, nearly got stolen away by Miller. Here's a drive down low for Stuart Flores. Flores hands off on the right wing to Harris. Harris thought about the shot, now will drive inside with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Goes down low, stolen away by Adams, but instead a double dribble called. Harris tapped the ball twice, and she turns the ball over, so Westminster will take back over left to right. They will move.
More great defensive play from the Blue Jays to not allow any open shots for the Saints.
There's a foul just next to the free throw line. They will get Stuart Flores being a little too physical with Janae Williams. Williams getting some key minutes off the bench, had no points against Blackburn, only played for 5 minutes. But Westminster again, the triples are raining for the Blue Jays. Kendall Miller, her second triple in the last couple of minutes, 23-7.
And that's something the Blue Jays definitely have over the Saints, almost double the amount of bench players they have at their disposal.
There were 0 bench points for Central Christian in that 89-45 loss at Randall their last time out. So they'll have a tough task as there's a drain off the right elbow for Ryan Stuart Flores. And it's not helping their situation at all that Lorinda Brock is not dressing out for today, but Adams with another 3. This time from the left corner, and William Woods, Westminster makes it 26-9. That's the other college across town here in Fulton, Missouri.
More great ball movement offensively from the Blue Jays, almost sticking with those 3 players out on that left corner.
Covington gets a transfer pass now low on her way to the basket. She is fouled. Janae Williams, the 6'0" senior forward from Potterhouse Christian Academy, getting a little physical down low, and that will put Covington at the line. Covington had the most free throw trips against Randall last week, and she can't make the first free throw. Went 4 for 6 from the line, got 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 offensive boards. But turnovers really hurt the Saints their last time out. 9 turnovers for Beck, 5 for Stuart Flores. And now an 0 for 2 trip from the line's not going to help them out at all. They still trail 26-9 with 1:35 to go in the first period. Westminster nearly lost the ball, but Sutterfield is there to corral it back in, and they love to shoot it from the left side of the wing. Here's a shot from the right side of the wing, too strong off to the right of the basket. Long rebound, put back up and a score. Courtney Wolf from Loose Creek, Missouri gets involved. And it's 28-9 Blue Jays with 1:15 to go in the first period.
If the Saints want to stay with the Blue Jays for the rest of this game, they have to start getting those defensive rebounds where the Blue Jays almost run the field.
Covington feeds it to her right, but Stuart Flores goes a little too strong on the three-pointer. And the Blue Jays will get a chance to respond with under a minute. Drive down low, another block, and a foul. So the block will go to Golden King. Jackson is fouled. She will go to the free throw line on the shot. With Michaela Jackson shooting 50% from the foul stripe this year, and now that number will dip below 50%, making her 6 of 13. She has played in all 6 games so far for Westminster, every game off the bench. Senior from, I should say a sophomore from Eureka, Missouri. We'll have another substitution for the Blue Jays. In will come Jaden Monig. Monig, 6'1", one of the tallest players out on the floor right now. And Jackson makes it 1 for 2, keeping her 50% mark on the season from the charity stripe, and it's a 20-point lead for Westminster in the first period. 45 seconds to play. Covington drives baseline and walks with the basketball, so another turnover on Central Christian. William, how many turnovers does that make now?
That was we've 3 so far on the night.
It's only 3, but it seems like there's been a lot more.
So those count fouls? Those count fouls like travels?
Maybe the software does not count fouls. It traditionally should be counted. Oh, what a putback off the right block. Jaden Monig there for the insurance policy. Down low between the circles. She puts it back up for 2. No shot clock now as we're under 17 seconds left in the first period. We'll see how the Saints respond. Can they at least get into double digits to close out the quarter? Stolen away by Westminster. No, Covington steals it back. And now she's down low, but a jump ball called with 6.2 seconds on the clock in period number 1. The possession arrow is with the Saints, so they will have to key it in. Skylar Beck will inbound it at the baseline. Beck looks to her left, now to the right. Can't find anyone open. Finds Covington. Covington has her shot blocked, but as she went up, she will go to the free throw line. Monig a little too tenacious as she bumped Covington, and that'll send Covington back to the free throw line. She's 0 for 2 tonight from the charity stripe.
And the Saints want to stay in this game. They have to be able to make these free throws, as Covington does right there. But as they have gone to the line, I believe 3 times so far tonight, these shots have to start falling for the Saints.
Here's the second free throw, and violation on the floor called before anything else. Is it working now? Okay, and then it's kind of shut itself off, or? Yeah, I refreshed it. Yes, there will be sound here on the Blue Jays Sports Network tonight as the Blue Jays lead the Central Christian Saints 62-17. William, it was a pretty lopsided first half as halftime is winding down, 4 minutes left on the clock, and given that we had some issues with the video and the sound earlier, we'll go ahead and give a recap here in the third period. It's been all Blue Jays for pretty much the entire game. Kendall Adams with 16 points, 6 of 10 from beyond the arc, and 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. William Woods has absolutely gone off on Westminster has gone off on Central Christian from beyond 3, 11 of 26.
Absolutely, and they're also dominating the rebound category as well. 29 rebounds to the Blue Jays so far in the first half to 9 total, offensive and defensive, for the Saints. So very lopsided when it comes to that. Offensive rebounds are almost the Blue Jays' entire game right now. If their first shot does not fall, it's almost a guarantee that they're going to get that second rebound and put back.
Well, the offensive boards have definitely helped the Blue Jays out. They had quite a few against Blackburn, as there were some good second chance looks for Miracle Jackson. She had 3 offensive boards on Saturday, as well as Abby Reese. She had 4 offensive boards, 9 points, 6 defensive rebounds for Kendall Adams that led Westminster, and just 1 offensive rebound for Connor Hadley. But it's nice to see with this lead becoming so large, and there's a good chance that Westminster could outscore Central Christian by maybe 60 points to close out this game. Central Christian is playing with a shortened bench, and it's not going to get any easier for them. They lost Lorinda Brock coming to this game. She did not dress out, and they're playing with only 7 players on the bench. I think if I have that counted correctly. So 7 players total, 2 on the bench. And when you have a shortened bench, it already gets so hard to play against a Division III opponent. This is already lopsided in that manner. Central Christian coming from Moberly, Missouri. They're in the NCCAA. And Westminster, as everyone knows, plays in the NCAA ranks in their Division III.
And they have, I think I counted 8 or 9 on the bench tonight, and they have been using almost every single one of their players on this Blue Jay team, something that the Saints do not have at their disposal. Their starters have almost played every single minute of that entire first half, and they might be getting tired. They might be getting really, really tired coming in to this second half.
Hannah Macon picked up her first 2 points of the season. The senior from St. Louis, Missouri, not getting a lot of playing time. This is now back-to-back games where Westminster has played every single player on their roster, and that's something you don't see every day. Prepping for this game, looking down the stretch of the stats, it's absolutely incredible to see that every player got involved against Blackburn, and that was a 77-53 win. This game is on pace for Westminster to win by a score of 124-34. I don't think we'll quite see that here in the second half, but to mention, if they put Kendall Adams back out there on the floor, she needed 28 points coming into this game to have 1,000 for her career. Started out playing at Stevens College, so all 1,000 points did not come here at Westminster, but she will have 1,000 career points. All she needs now is just 12 points away, and she will have 1,000 career points, and that'd be a huge milestone for her to get tonight. She could do it. 16 first half points, that led other side. Speaking of which, of the team leaders, Naya Golden King with 5 points, Ryan Stewart Flores with 5. Tink Harris had 4 points, although she took nearly double the amount of shots of anybody else, 2 of 8 from the field, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Ryan Stewart Flores 1 for 2 from beyond the arc. That's the only 3-pointer made for the Saints, as they went 1 for 7 from beyond 3. 2 of 6 from the charity stripe. Now the old adage, free throws win games. That's 4 points left on the table. Well, if the Saints even make those, they're still losing 62-21 at the half. So halftime adjustments will have to be made by the Saints. I think for Westminster, just keep your foot on the pedal and punch 13 and not really give up any easy looks for the Saints, and they're going to come away with a W.
I think I agree. They're also sharing the ball a lot more all around offensively so far this game, with 16 total assists coming in the first half. Their season average coming into this game, 17. And
Arnold, head coach James Arnold, does leave his original starters out. So here's Adams as she drives inside and pops a short 2, but an offensive rebound on the floor and a jump ball. We've seen several of those already today, and the Saints will keep possession as the possession arrow favored them. For the Jays, it's Imamura, Dowler, Johnson, Abby Reese, and Kendall Adams out on the floor. And a couple of different players out on the floor for the Saints into the second half. It's stolen away by Miracle Johnson. She has her first steal of the night. Here they go with the cherry pick. Adams drives down low. Bounce pass to Abby Reese for two. 64-17 your score with 9:20 left in the third period.
5 assists on the night for Kendall Adams to go on top of her 16 points so far.
She's playing really tough. Comes in at a tall 5'9". I think that might even be a little bit generous on how tall she is. She could be pushing close to 5'11", maybe even 6 foot, but defensive rebound corralled into the right corner by Dowler. Here come the Blue Jays. Oh, baseball pass. Here's the feeder. Miracle Johnson cannot complete the pass. 2 missed shots for the Blue Jays. They'll reset from the free throw line. Dowler sinks it. And with a smile and a handshake, or I should say a smile and a high five from Kendall Adams, Dowler gets on the board at 66-17, Westminster.
2 wide open players under the basket on that fast break for the Blue Jays.
Covington with the skip pass to Harris on the right wing, and they feed it back up between the two of them to Hawley. Hawley now sticking with the basketball a little too long. She lost control of the basketball, and the referees may have seen that one, but they'll call an offensive foul. I think maybe Hawley's checking her nail, maybe got her nail caught on the basketball, maybe jammed her finger. And the Blue Jays lead at 66-17. They can make it a 50-point lead with the next score. Imamura holds up her thumb on her left hand, dribbles with the right. She's in the backcourt. Dribbles with the right hand, now with the left, kind of takes a stab step inside, dribbles to the left side, hand off to Adams. Adams thought about the three, drives inside, and draws the foul, so that'll be the first foul on Sarada Cisse. And Westminster will keep the basketball and Imamura to inbound. Slap of the basketball, feet off to her right. Reese for three. Abby Reese too strong, rebounded by Covington. And they're going to call a foul on the floor, not a jump ball. Now, if any of those could be a jump ball, except for the hard collision on Covington, that one looked like it maybe could have gone the way of the jump ball call, but I think they're going to say Abby Reese got the wrist of Covington, and she comes up a little gimpy.
Yeah. I think Reese just came in a little too hot on that one, going for the ball. Something you have to be really careful of when you're coming from that far away.
Saints lead it. Saints trail it by 49 as Harris fires a long two, hangs off the edge of oblivion, but rebounded by Westminster, and a foul again on Sarada Cisse. That's her second foul in just the last 45 seconds or so.
We didn't see a lot of her the entire first half, but I think with the foul trouble that the Saints are in all around, she's almost forced into the minutes that she's getting.
Caitlin Frazier wants a timeout. Her team teetering on the edge of a 50-point deficit, 66-17, 7:30 left to go in the third period. We'll be right back with more Westminster women's basketball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Welcome back to Fulton, Missouri. 66-17 your score, just under 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third period. The Blue Jays sitting pretty, the 49-point lead. An offensive foul away from the basketball called against Abby Reese. That'll be Reese's second foul. Actually going to call Adams on that one. That's Adams' second foul.
I think it may have been something with her screen, may have been a legal screen against Adams.
Harris brings the ball up the floor for the Saints, left to right. The pass off to the left wing, that's Skylar Beck. Beck nearly trapped, gets it off to Covington, stolen away by Abby Reese. Reese has numbers with Adams, feeds to Adams, Adams for 2. Adams 10 points away from 1,000. She's at 990.
Fantastic steal from Reese on the defensive end, going coast to coast and ending it with an assist to Adams.
990 points under the belt of Kendall Adams. Nearly stolen away again, but Harris comes away with the basketball and swirls the 3 down. First points of the half for the Saints at 68-20. Adams at the right elbow, now feeds it off up top of the key to Iwamura, who resets us here, and with 17 seconds on the play clock, looks inside with a key into Abby Reese, and they feed it down to the right corner. Long 3 for Dowler, and she sinks it. Dowler from downtown. It's back to a 51-point lead for the Blue Jays with 5:55 left to go in the third period, and Kendall Miller looking to check in.
Dowler's now 3 for 7 on the night from downtown, so a little drop in her percentage from the last game. But still quite hot.
Covington turns it over. Here comes Miracle Johnson. And an offensive foul called.
I think they're going to call it against Abby Reese off the ball. Kind of setting a moving pick against Tink Harris.
I think James Arnold likes the aggressive play, though, by his team. Keep the pressure up, 71-20.
Reese is almost like shielding Harris from getting to Johnson while in the running motion.
Tink Harris walks the ball up the floor, crosses on the far side. Pass off to the right wing. Here's Beck for 3. Beck hits off the front of the rim, rebounded by Adams, collides to her total. Adams with 18 points. Here she steamrolls up the floor, down into the lane, finds a wide open Miller for 3. Miller drains it, and she's fouled. Miller will go to the line. Chance for 4 points on one flick of the wrist.
Miller is white hot behind the arc tonight. 4 for 6 for 3 tonight.
14 points. And might be able to make it 15. She's sorry, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe in this matchup. 3 for 3, 15 points. 74-20.
One night for Miller coming off the bench tonight to make a severe impact on this game.
Harris, the freshman point guard from Elkins, Arkansas. Drives baseline down low. Count the bucket and 1. And they might... Well, you see who the foul was called on. Did they tag Abby Reese? I want to say they did, and Reese will have to take a seat on the bench, and then will come Abby Sutterfield. 75-22 with Harris at the line, and she makes it a 52-point game with 4 minutes and 56 seconds left to play in the third period. Down low, Adams tries to get the basketball back. Eventually, Miller comes away with it. They feed it down low. Here's Adams. Adams gets the off-bounds pass, missed by the Saints, and Adams, 992 points in her career.
Good vision from Iwamura to see Adams down low. I know it was tipped away, but Adams eventually got it. But still great pass from Iwamura.
Gotta love the play out of Adams tonight. I think that James Arnold will leave her in here the rest of the third period, give her a chance to collect 8 more points. Harris, stutter steps inside, now drives off traffic. Pass to her right, and a shot clock violation will give the ball back to Westminster. They'll move it right to left in the home whites and sky blue numbering, lettering, piping, and shoes. Iwamura walks the ball up on the near side of the floor, across the center line with a couple of stutter steps. Now passes it off to Janae Williams, and Adams down low. Adams with another 2 points. 22 points on the night. She's 6 away from 1,000, folks. 79-23. This game is getting uglier and uglier by the minute.
Great Euro step to get to the basket on that play by Adams.
Turned over, and Iwamura with the steal. Here's to Adams, the cherry picker floater for 2. Adams with another bucket. 4 points away from 1,000.
Great run made by Adams down low to break the line the entire Saints defense on the fast break to get those points.
3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third period, and Adams gets the rebound after Harris throws up a three-point bucket with nothing to show for it. Adams down low, gives to Williams. Williams lost the handle on the basketball, regains control and resets. Back to Adams down low, thought about the bucket. Harris said not today, kicks it out to Miller for three, too strong, and rebounded by the Saints. This time the rebound for Ryan Stewart Flores.
Miller was wide open on that corner three. Uncharacteristic miss for her so far tonight.
Harris pass off to the right wing to Beck. Beck guarded by Miller. She walks the ball down into the corner. Skip pass to Covington, top of the key. Covington swings the ball around. Here she drives the left side of the baseline. Guarded by Sutterfield, who is called for the foul. Sutterfield reached a little too far into the cookie jar, and Covington will come away with a couple of shots at the free throw line. Meanwhile, Adams sitting at 996 career points. Maybe playing with a little bit of limp on her right leg. Appears to be favoring it just a little bit. So
I did notice that early in the second quarter, I believe, when she was fouled on one of her shots.
The free throw woes continue for Damia Covington, now just 1 of 5 from the charity stripe. Adams is staying in the game with all these mass substitutions, so I think James Arnold knows how close she is to 1,000. Might as well get her over the mark in this matchup. What a night for Adams, 24 points. There's a second free throw missed and rebounded by guess who? Kendall Adams. She brings the ball up the floor, steamrolling to the basket. Here's the layup, and she's 2 points away from 1,000 on her career.
What a drive and triple coverage by Kendall Adams.
We're about to see history here tonight at Westminster College.
Also finishing with a finger roll with her right hand.
26 points for Adams and 2 away from 1,000. Drive to the basket. Miller with a good defense. No, make that Corey Reese. And Adams bringing the ball up the floor. Adams, here's the cherry pick, but a little too strong to Michaela Jackson. She lost the hold of the basketball. Adams, here's the three for 1,000. It's good! 1,000 career points for Kendall Adams.
Timeout called by Westminster to see the entire team consoling her, congratulating her.
And she's met by head coach James Arnold. Here's the photo op. Getting a basketball with the Blue Jay logo on it. She's smiling. Here she runs it over to the far side of the floor. I think that's going to mom and dad.
It's going to mom and dad for now, but she'll save that for the rest of her life. 1,000 career points here in college.
What a career for Kendall Adams. Started out at Hickman High School. A CUPE through and through. Goes down in history with the names of Jaden Cox. And it's 86-23, a 63-point lead for Westminster with 1:52 to play in the third period off of the triple by Kendall Adams. This is a night she will never forget. Talk about looking for something to write on this day in history. Well, in Westminster history, this will always be a notch in the record book. And now she comes out of the game, and that might be her swan song for the night. She deserves that rest
Absolutely.
on the bench now. 29 points, 12 of 18 from the field, 5 of 9 from beyond three. No trips to the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound away from a double-double. 7 assists. That's a big number there. 7 assists, William. 7 assists and 29 points. That's just not someone who's distributing the ball well, but they're making smart decisions on when to shoot and when to pass it off.
Coming to this game, she's averaging 3.5 assists a game, so she's upping her numbers in every single category here tonight. Just an overall fantastic game. A fantastic night for Kendall Adams.
Turnover by the Saints, and that'll give the ball back to Westminster right to left as we go back to basketball. 91 seconds left in the third period, and Westminster leading it big. Here's a long three. Courtney Wolf clanks off the side of the iron and rebounded by the tall Jaden Monig. Modig, second chance for Corey Reese. Hits off the left of the rim, deflected, and a good attempt by Abby Reese to save the basketball. Actually, no, give that to Michaela Jackson. She tried to pull it in out of bounds, and got to appreciate the effort.
Absolutely. She was almost wide open there, looking for that rebound. Holly
flares to the rim, but then kind of settles back onto the left side of the wing. Floated down low to Golden King as she goes up. Clash of the Titans down low. The rim wins that battle that time, and Westminster comes away with the basketball. Cherry pickup floor. Sutterfield for two. She's having quite a night herself. 88-23 your score. Just under 40 seconds left in the third period.
Another great cross-court from half-court pass from Corey Reese on the fast break to get those quick 2 points.
That's Sutterfield's first bucket of the night. Just 3 points. Had one off of a free throw earlier, but shot clanks off the rim and rebounded by Corey Reese as she brings the ball up the field. Or the floor, I should say, and Courtney Wolf drives down low, and the shot clock, I don't think the shot clock even began.
I don't think it did. Still stuck at 30.
Well, that should not be an issue. There's actually under 30 seconds in the period, so I'm not sure what the referees were exactly conferring about there. So there's no shot clock, and it's 88-23. Now Tink Harris will come in to substitute for Skylar Beck. Beck, the freshman from Independence, Missouri, takes a seat on the bench, and Westminster with the key in here. It's Corey Reese, no shot clock, and leading 88-23. Corey Reese drives to the left side of the rim. Here's the layup, and not today, says the basket. 1.6 seconds on the clock as there's a foul down low.
It was an over-the-back foul called against Jaden Monig.
And we will have a free throw to close out the third period. That's the 5th foul on Westminster. So we will have we'll have 2 shots. The first free throw no good for Sarata Cisse. She had no free throw attempts her last time out at Randall in that 89-45 loss for the Saints. And here's the second one, and it cans. So Westminster has 1 second to work with. Here's a half-court shot, and hit the rim! If that had gone in, William, that would have been the
That would have brought this house down.
cherry on top of the cake. And a night that has not gone the way of the Saints. That would have been the epitome of it there. We'll be right back with the fourth period. 10 minutes on the clock. 88-24. Westminster leading comfortably here in Fulton, Missouri. We'll be right back with more William Woods, more Westminster women's basketball on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Welcome back to Henry P. Iba Court here at Westminster College in Fulton, Missouri. James Stanley with William Nolte here on the Blue Jays Sports Network. The Blue Jays lead at 24-88, and another turnover by the Saints. The turnover woes continue for Central Christian out of Moberly, Missouri, as they've now turned the ball over 20 times on that turnover. Westminster has 31 points off turnovers tonight and 41 total rebounds, 23 defensive, 18 offensive rebounds, 18 second chance looks, William. You're not going to lose a lot of basketball games when you get that many opportunities to put the ball back up for a score.
Even without those, do you think? I think this game still would have been in a wide margin.
Well, it's a 64-point advantage for Westminster right now, and Central Christian will reset. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Harris flips it inside to Covington as Covington drives to the lane. She is fouled by Kiana Andrews, and love the positive attitude, the positive vibes coming here from head coach James Arnold, previous assistant coach at SEMO. Now the head coach of this women's Blue Jays basketball program. Harris fires another three but misses it. And a good rebound down low by Shelby Jackson. Right place at the right time. They'll try to cherry pick once again. Janae Williams feeds it to her left, but Michaela Jackson lost handle of the basketball. Now it's stolen away by the Saints. Ryan Stewart Flores, one-on-one. Three for Harris. Long three is short. And dropped out of bounds by Sarate Cisse, the junior from San Jose, California. Nine minutes left to go in the game, and the Blue Jays leading it by 64. Oh, what a good transfer pass down low. And Janae Williams is fouled. She'll go back to the charity stripe. I don't think this is what Paul McCartney was talking about when he wrote When I'm 64, a 64-point lead in a basketball game, but 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game, and that makes it 65, so that's no longer relevant.
I mean, you did mention Winston Churchill was here some time ago, so they do have a good history of Englishmen in this building.
I don't think Paul McCartney's ever stepped foot in this building, but
I wouldn't put it past him.
90-24. My goodness, this game is getting out of hand for the Blue Jays. I should say for the Saints. Almost to the point of no return. Covington with the ball, feeds it down low, stolen away by Corey Reese. No, make that to Shelby Jackson. 5s and 0s looking way too similar. Bump off the block. Kiana Andrews' shot is rejected, gets an offensive rebound, and somehow Williams is there to pull it back down, and Williams goes 0 for 3 in the paint, or I should say the Blue Jays go 0 for 3 in the paint on that possession. And if you're trying to nitpick anything about this team, we've seen a couple of those happenings tonight, and it's not that that's going to matter in this matchup, but when it comes to the hard teams to play in the SLIAC, well, that's going to be something that Westminster needs to work on with those offensive boards.
Absolutely. 3 Blue Jays all around the outside of the arc, wide open for any kick-out three.
Here's a pop and a stop for Stuart Flores, and rejected by the rim. Rebounded by the Blue Jays. They feed it up floor. Open look for Jackson. Shelby Jackson, the easy put up for 2. It's 92-24 Westminster, and a timeout called on the floor by Central Christian. William, this game is anything but over at this point, and the Blue Jays can make it a 70-point lead on the next bucket.
Do we know what their largest win margin on the season so far is? Because,
well, on the season, I would have a hard time finding this. They beat Southern Illinois 118-38, so that's the benchmark right now. That's 80 points.
I don't know if we'll hit that tonight.
You're looking for
there are still 7.5 minutes left, but what an impressive start to this 2018-2019 campaign for the Westminster Blue Jays. And it's so important to get those going into conference play. I know they've already played 2 conference games in the SLIAC so far, won both of them, but when you get into the heat of the SLIAC, those confidence booster games are so important.
And right now they're sitting tied at first in the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. 7:10 left to play, 92-24, and another turnover. This time it's picked up by Kiana Andrews. Andrews flips the field, turns the table, and Shelby Jackson with another 2 points. 70-point lead for the Blue Jays. They could very well make this, well, an 80-point win. The rate is going. Still a lot of basketball left to be played.
The Saints have been slowing it down offensively so far, letting the shot clock run all the way down before they try to attack the basket. Maybe try to drain this game out, or it could be because They are tired.
Stuart Flores, long three, banks off the back of the iron and out of bounds. The basketball rolls from Nia Golden King's foot. So Kiana Andrews will check out, and back in will come Hannah Macon, who picked up her first 2 points of the season just a few periods ago. 6:20 to go. 70-point lead for the Blue Jays. Dribble around, Jackson into traffic. Now off to her left to Macon. Macon swings the pass down onto the right corner, then back up top to Michaela Jackson. Jackson pass down low to Williams, or make that to Macon, and Macon falls on the floor, gets some help up from her teammates, and a jump ball called. Maybe has a stinger on her hands as she kind of shakes him around as she is on her way up. 8 seconds on the shot clock, and Macon to the inbound. Michaela Jackson on the right wing, drives inside to the baseline, bounce pass to Macon. Macon, oh, can't get the follow through. They're going to call a shot clock violation. I'm not sure about that, William. They get the call right, because that ball definitely bounced off the rim before the buzzer. It was 1 second on the clock. And Macon will have another chance to rebound inbound with a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. Michaela Jackson drives right. Now the bounce pass down to the right corner to Macon. Macon down low. Here's Hadley. Hadley's rejected by the rim. What a move by Macon. Macon must have jumped 20 feet inside there, but regardless, she will be called for the travel. But what an athletic jump.
Fantastic rebound from Macon, jumping all the way outside the paint, right down low to grab that board.
Stuart Flores holds up the left hand. Not necessarily being sworn into office, but dribbles with the right. Now switches hands and tickles her forehead as she calls up a play, and now drives to the right side. Hand off to Harris for three. Harris, downtown Harris. It's good for another triple. 27 points on the board for Central Christian College of the Bible. All the way from Moberly, Missouri. 94-27 your score with 5:09 to play. The ball nearly turned over, but last touch out of bounds by Stuart Flores, and Westminster will keep it moving right to left.
You mentioned earlier, but these are such good minutes for these bench players. I have not had the opportunity so far this entire season to play.
Harris has a team-leading 10 points. Macon drives, rejected by the bottom of the iron, and rebounded by the Blue Jays. Another offensive board, driving into traffic. And they'll call an offensive foul against Michaela Jackson, the sophomore from Eureka, Missouri. A little too tenacious on her possession there. And with 4:54 to play, Westminster leads at 94-27. Make that Harris with 13 points. 5 for 15 from beyond, or from the field, and 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. Not a terrible day at the office, considering the situation of the score, 94-27. But there has to be some adjustments made, and here's a quick late-game rally by the Saints. 2 points for Nia Golden King, and Westminster will bring the ball back up the floor right to left, leading 94-29. Michaela Jackson on the right wing, flip to the left center of the floor to Wolf. Back to Jackson. They go down low, just 8 feet off the right. A jumper missed by Connor Hadley, and the Blue Jays keep possession of the basketball. Michaela Jackson fakes out Harris. Back over to Wolf. Wolf to Harris, right wing. They feed it down low. Here's the Kean trying to find a piece of the pie, but a good corral in by Macon. He's been making plays all around the floor. Macon keeps the ball in play. Wolf for three. Wolf cans it. Wolf from downtown, and the Blue Jays are, 3 points away from reaching 100 on the night. They lead at 97-29. We'll be right back with more women's Westminster basketball on the Blue Jays Sports Network with 3:43 to play. It's 97-29 Blue Jays. James Stanley and William Nolte with you here for the final 3 minutes and 42 seconds of this matchup between women's basketball programs of Central Christian out of Moberly, Missouri, and Westminster College here in Fulton. Seen a couple of key minutes here from Macon. She comes away with another rebound. She's trucking up the floor. Hutchin 13 now feeds it off to her teammate Courtney Wolf on the right wing. Down low goes the pass. Monig maybe walked with it, but the referees didn't call it, and she has her another 2 points of the night. It's 99-29 with 3:12 to play in favor of the Blue Jays.
More fantastic ball movement all around from the Blue Jays.
Harris out of the right wing. Kicks it back up top of the key to Stuart Flores. Back to Harris for three. Harris! Swish! Nothing but nylon from the right wing that time, and that gives her 16 points on the day. 99-32. Harris has really gone off in the last couple of minutes.
She has 2 3-pointers, I believe, from long range too, not necessarily.
Corey Reese finds it open down low, but the shot is blocked. That was Jaden Monig going up for the shot, and she is blocked by Naya Golden King. King had to block her last time out. Harris, another three. Harris, no bang on the boom that time, and hits hard off the back of the iron. A little bit of collisions down low. Pat on the back from Connor Hadley. And Harris, I think she's happy about taking that shot. Westminster will not keep possession of the basketball. Possession arrow sticks with the Saints, so they'll have an inbound down low.
I think it was a foul called against Hannah Mackey, even though she did come out worse in that collision.
Harris thought about a three. Here's a baseball pass down to the right block. Stuart Flores, bounce pass down to the right corner. Bodies on the floor. Westminster, scrum on the half, and a jump ball called with the Saints retaining possession on the possession arrow. So we'll do it again, Will. Ryan Stuart Flores to trigger it in. Feeds it in long to Harris. Catch and shoot for three. Steph Curry range, but too strong. And a big collision on the floor. Man, oh man. Golden King went down hard. And that cannot feel good. You get the wind knocked out of you. You might even come up with a couple of bruises, maybe even an abrasion on your arm. Or a protuberous.
I don't know what that is.
Here's the same inbound to Harris, and they swing it around to Stuart Flores for three. Airballs it off the back of the glass and rebounded by Hadley. Hadley to Corey Reese, who brings the ball to the floor. They zip it down low and out of bounds. The pass from Reese to Kiana Andrews is a little too strong, so the clock will stop with 1:55 to play. And 99-32 in favor of the Blue Jays. Stuart Flores directing traffic between the blue line and the three-point arc. Dribbles with the left hand, now with the right. 14 seconds on the play clock. Make that on the shot clock. Pass was to Karis Hawley out on the left wing, and the ball just bounced out of bounds. Last touched by a zealous Corey Reese.
Great anticipation by Reese to jump right in there. Unfortunately, she didn't come up with a steal.
And there's a moving pick. You could see that one all the way up here. Sarada Cisse kind of charged into the back of Corey Reese. Her feet were moving, and you're going to get called for that 9 times out of 10. 90 seconds left to play in the game. Corey Reese directing traffic with the right hand. Now floats it down low on a pass to Jaden Monig, and Monig's shot says no good. But the ball falls out of bounds. Love the effort here from Kiana Andrews. But I think she stepped on the baseline with the basketball, so that'll give it right back to the Saints with $1:18 to play. 99-32 your score. Blue Jays are going to improve to 6-1 on the season, while Central Christian will fall to 1-9. Harris, another three. Harris! My goodness, 19 points. 4 for 10 from beyond the arc. Have yourself a day, Tink Harris. Long three. Response by the Blue Jays, missed by Courtney Wolf, but rebounded by Andrews. Wolf has another chance. She gives it back to Andrews on the left elbow. Double teamed and keeps on getting her passes knocked away from her. Comes away with eventually the ball goes on the floor, and Sarata Cisse comes away with the basketball. And the clock has just turned off.
Wow. The entire scoreboard is off potentially.
The scoreboard is completely off. And hopefully that has a good memory card in it, because I'm not going to be, well, not that I matter, but I would not want to be the person that has to hit every single button to get it back to where it was supposed to be. And it appears it's just the power cord came out. Here comes James Arnold to plug it back in. Except now the clock is still off and they have it plugged in. There it is.
Exactly where it was before.
Just like the Griswolds, they got the Christmas lights back up. 38.6 seconds left to play in the game, and the Saints looking to walk this one out. It's 99-35, Westminster. Trap up for Harris, another three. Harris clanks off the side of the iron, and she's having quite a bit of fun from beyond the arc. Eventually rebounded by Connor Hadley. And the student section, although it's small, is being very loud in their cheering. No shot clock now.
They just want that 100 points.
All the fans want them to shoot it, but I think the right sportsmanship thing is just to walk the clock off and not make the deficit any more than it needs to be. 99-35, your final score. Westminster women's basketball improves to 6-1, and Central Christian falls to 1-9, and the schedule does not look any easier for Caitlin Frazier and company in her first year as the head coach of the Saints. William will run through some of these totals here before we send it to oblivion. Westminster took 83 shots on the night, making 46%, 15-37 from beyond the three-point arc, and that's absolutely incredible. 37 attempts, 41% from beyond the arc, and just 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Both these teams will come to center floor and join their hands in prayer, for Central Christian will hop on their bus to make their way back to Moberly, Missouri. We wish them a very safe trip. I'm assuming they'll go 70 over to 63, and hope they'll have better luck in the future. With your final score, Westminster 99 and Central Christian Bible 35. It's 25 turnovers for Central Christian tonight, 16 for Westminster. 35 points off turnovers for the Blue Jays, and 55 total rebounds. 55 rebounds, William. 27 offensive and 28 defensive. That's nearly just as impressive, because half the rebounds were of the offensive variety.
I think that's eventually what came down to it for Westminster, to find the right choice of words. They were getting so many offensive putbacks, so many second chance, third chance opportunities, that it eventually became just too much for the Saints to combat.
Kendall Adams finishes the night with 29 points. She now has 1,001 points for her career. And that includes totals from Stevens College and Westminster. Tink Harris, the leading scorer for the Saints, 19 points. The next closest scorer is Naya Golden King. She had 7 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds. Leading rebounder also for Westminster is Kendall Adams with 9, had 7 assists, and finished the night with 3 fouls. As a couple of players got in foul trouble for the Saints, and Stuart Flores, she had 4, and Cisse had 4 as well. So that's something maybe that they'll have to be a little more disciplined with down the stretch, especially when your bench is shortened. But we wish the best of luck to the Saints in the rest of their season. And William, anything you want to close us out with?
Very good performance tonight for Westminster. Very important to have this one continue their momentum that they've set so far this entire season. They now play Washington University conference play against Eureka.
And our good friend Nash Walker will have the call on Thursday with you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
He will.
Wish we could be with you here, but finals week is just around the corner, and University of Missouri doesn't give us time off for doing fun things like calling games for Westminster College. But that's going to do it for us here for our sports information director, Kirsten Carney. This is James Stanley saying so long and farewell, not to mention for William Nolte. We thank you for joining us tonight on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Your final score, Westminster wins it 99-35, and we will see you next time.